So welcome everybody. We are at RTR. Well, really away from RTR so we could have a quiet interview. I would like to introduce Debra. Hi Debra, thank you for letting me interview you. And later on we're going to go through Debra's van, which is absolutely gorgeous. But right now I'd like to ask Debra if she could tell us a little bit about the reason she's here and a little bit about her life, and if she wants to tell us how old she is.
No problem. I'm 73. Well, I will be on Monday.
Monday.
It'll be my birthday. Yay! And I got started in van life actually with an SUV, not a van. And it was what I had at the time. It was an Expedition. And I started watching Bob Wells. And this was before Home on Wheels Alliance or any of that stuff. This is, I would say, 7 years ago-ish. And I was so intrigued by the lifestyle, how clever everybody was, how many great ideas they had. And I was like, oh, I have an SUV. I'm going to give it a go. So I watched about 1 million videos and I converted it. And it was cute and it was fun and it was little and it was compact. And I went to the RTR.
Did you have a house at this time?
I'm sorry?
Did you have a house at this time?
Oh, yes. Yes, I was living in Palm Springs. And I went to the RTR and lo and behold, I met Bob. And he liked the cleverness of my little rig, and so he videotaped me. And that was great. That was fun. And friends saw it and started calling and everything. And I used it. I went to Joshua Tree. I went to Anza Borrego. I went on little road trips. That's how I met Utah, the state of Utah where I live now. And eventually the car started to wear out. And I thought, okay. Then I actually became aware of your channel and Gloria, another YouTuber that I follow, and you guys were addressing issues that were back of mind for me, and you made them front of mind, and you started talking about the issues of growing older and how many people don't have safety nets, and you guys were just so informative and so helpful. And then that kind of drew me to my own situation, and I felt like I needed a safety net. So it was time to get a new car anyway, so I opted for the van. And it's a 2013 Ford E150, and it was a passenger van, so it's got commercial windows, it's got a commercial carriage. It's actually on a 250 carriage, even though it's a 150. So I bought that, and I did everything myself. And I felt like that was the next step, and I kind of grew up in van life. And this is its maiden voyage, and I've got a list of, corrections and things that I'm going to make. But it's a process. It's a process of finding the vehicle that's right for you, being willing to risk tearing it out and building it out, or getting help. And so now I feel like I have that safety net. If anything were to happen to me, if I lost my home for any reason, and I have lost a home, I lost one in a fire, so that's always on my mind. Now I feel like that I have a place that's safe and comfortable, and so that's really the reason why, and that's how it all happened for me.
Well, good. Now, how many miles do you have on your vehicle?
107, I think, and when I got it, it had 95.
Do you feel you have enough room? You're not standing up. So what was the reason for you choosing one that you couldn't stand in?
Three reasons. Availability. I couldn't find one. Cost. To get a high top in this particular van would have added about another $8,000 to $9,000 in cost, and I didn't have the means. And then the third thing is I'm only 5'4", so I can sit and move around very comfortably. And I was thinking about it, and when I'm at home, I'm sitting down anyway. If I want to stand up, I can go outside. And it hasn't been an issue.
Okay. So is there anything that you would like to say to older women that are out here? How realistic it is for them? How are your health issues?
I'm very fortunate in that the only health issue I have is a little bit of a problem with my back. I have to be careful to not, I can't twist and bend.
Yeah.
But other than that, the only other issue I have is managed, and that's a case of high blood pressure. So I'm healthy.
Yeah. So would you recommend? anyone, men and women. I'm not just saying women, but I tend to find more women out here. Do you?
I find more women out here, and boy, I've really learned a lot about that whole issue being at the RTR this time. There are a lot of older women my age who maybe spent their whole life with a family raising children, or maybe they never had children, and now they're older and they can't work. They maybe didn't make that much in Social Security because maybe they didn't work, and so they have very limited means, and they're forced to live in their vehicles. But man, I gotta tell you, these ladies know how to make the best of it. They really do. They're just little rays of light. They have a positive attitude. There's a sisterhood between them. They help each other, and it's really great.
Good, good. So are you saying you would recommend it?
I'm saying that you better go into it with your eyes open, because it isn't all peaches and cream. You know, that you have to be okay with finding a place to go to the bathroom or emptying, or both. Some people have issues with that. You have to make sure that you have your electricity dialed in. You have to make sure that you have ice if you need it, or enough power to run your fridge. You have to make sure your vehicle maintains maintenance. You have to find affordable gas. Taking a shower can be a challenge. So, you know, there are issues that come up that you have to be open and realize that you're going to face, so that you can go into it with your eyes open, I guess. And it isn't all peaches and cream, but I tell you, it's great. And the things that are great about it is the freedom, the ability to pretty much go anywhere you want as long as you can afford the travel cost, and the people you meet on the road. So.
But now you are making it peaches and cream with the people you meet on the road. Yeah. Are you saying 100% are really wonderful?
Oh,
are there?
No. Oh, heck no. But you know, at my age, I'm a pretty good judge of people, and so I listen to myself, and I take heed if I'm in a situation where I need to.
Yeah.
But I would honestly say that for the most part, the people I've met have been wonderful.
Yeah, yeah.
But you gotta account for that 8%, right?
Yeah, yeah. And how safe do you feel?
Well,
do you have a safety issue of any kind?
I've taken self-defense classes, and I have wasp spray and bear spray with me. I prefer wasp spray because it goes farther, it lasts longer, and it's actually more effective. And so I am not afraid. I haven't had situations where I've felt afraid. I've had situations where I felt unsafe, but I leave. You have to listen to yourself. I was in Yuma, and I pulled into a truck stop, and I got a vibe that was bad.
Really?
And there was no reason for it. I mean, I didn't see anything. It was just so I listened to my little voice, and then I thought, well, I'll just go to a Walmart. Silly me. And it was like, what, 10 minutes away, so I drove to the Walmart. That's another thing that I've learned, is that when you're tired, if you've been on the road all day, make the decision about where you're going to stay before you get to that point. Because what happens with me is I don't think clearly. And it would have been obvious to go to the Walmart, but I didn't think of it. And I had to remind myself that was available to me. It's because I was tired.
Yeah. Yeah.
So don't get too tired. You know, we don't have the stamina we used to have when we were younger. I used to go 400 miles a day. I'm lucky if I go 2. I'm tired.
Well, and I'd like to thank you, Debra, for doing this interview for me and with me. And we are now going to go into the van, if you don't mind. Are you willing to show us the van?
I'd love to.
Okay.
I have to admit, I'm a little proud of it.
Good. I am too. It's gorgeous. I hope you enjoyed this video. Debra was a joy to meet, and we're going to be meeting again because we have like minds, and we want to talk about other things. So eventually I'm going to have Debra on L.A.V.A, I hope, and we'll keep in contact. But I really, really enjoyed her van. It was beautiful. Her favorite color is teal. And I thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and I'll see you next time. Camo.